When I first discovered Jaeger-LeCoultre's Master Compressor U.S. Navy SEALs limited edition dive watch, I was looking for an all-black diver. This one particularly stood out to me the most because unlike the rest of the Master Compressor line, I found this one to be a little bit more wearable, coming in at 42 millimeters versus the little bit harder to wear 44 millimeter case sizes or 46 millimeter case sizes of the other Master Compressors. This is reference Q2018770 if anyone is looking for the reference, and this is the reference that includes the amazing black rubber bracelet that I am going to talk a little bit about. So instead of doing a full review, I just want to talk a little bit about this watch and some of the reasons why I picked it up and why I feel it is an extremely low profile diver that not a lot of people outside of the watch collecting community is going to know about. So let's get off for starters. For functions, this is a pretty simple watch. As you can see, it features just an hours, minute, and second hand plus a date at 3 o'clock. The date window is very well done. There's a lot of depth to the date window. There's two separate framings where you see the black date wheel with the white font with another window that's kind of gray, and then you see one more black window that just gives this date window so much detail. And that is the thing I think I enjoy most about this watch, is the small little subtle attentions to detail that Jlc brings into an otherwise very rugged and masculine diver. So the whole watch is made of stainless steel, which is a little bit surprising considering how light the watch is. The bracelet is also stainless steel, covered in this rubber that Jlc uses, this black rubber steel core style bracelet that is usually the star of the show, is usually one of the main reasons people adore this watch. As I mentioned earlier, 42 millimeters in diameter, and we're looking at about 12 to 0.75 millimeters thick with the 49.8 millimeter lug to lug. So anything under 50 millimeters is really outstanding because it allows you to accompany a variety of different wrist size. For a wrist shot purpose, this watch wears extremely well. I have a 7¼ inch wrist, and with a 49 millimeter lug to lug, with the watch just looks really great on the wrist. No overhang, sits really well, and this is going to fit a lot of wrists. I think you can go probably as small as 6.5, particularly if you decide to take it off the rubber bracelet and put it on leather or a different style rubber strap. So let's go ahead and dissect the dial a little bit. The Master Compressor dial is one that I find to be extremely legible and has a very strong masculine presence. You see the traditional 6, 9, and 12 Arabic numerals with these trapezoid style hour markers, very similar to what you will find in any of the Polaris watches. And this font is also very similar. It's this bold masculine font that really stands out. It is a very bright white painted in bright blue Super-LumiNova, and it looks incredible. There's also on the outer board, you see the traditional minute track where you see the numbering 60 seconds, 5, 10, 15, and so on. In addition to another set of minute markers going along the inside circle, so to speak, of the dial that makes it really easy to read and give you a really good glimpse of exactly where your second hand is located. Very minimum font. You have the JL logo with compressor diving on the dial with 984 feet for 300 meters, the correct display. One of the few watch brands that actually do that. Going to the bezel, if I was to have a love-hate relationship with anything of the watch, it would be the bezel. The bezel is remarkable. It has this de-blasted look, but it's a matte black ceramic bezel, laser etched engraved numerals and minute markings. Where my complaint lies is with the bezel. This is extremely easy to rotate. There's not a lot of friction, a little bit of play, and I think for what you would expect at this price point, this is something that was very common amongst this model, and if you look at the reviews, very easy bezel. I am not a professional diver, so this is not something that really bothers me, but as you can see, this is extremely easy to rotate. The hands they use are also really unique. You have these black etched skeletonized hands filled with white Super-LumiNova that shines blue when it's dark. Moving on to the rest of the watch, the name compressor diving, unlike traditional screw down crowns Jlc installed, this gasket style crown, this wing nut style crown. Red means that the watch is able to be hacked and pulled out and set, which means this is not safe for diving. And when you are ready and done with the functions of the watch, you simply turn it back. You have the white arrow to let you know that you are good to resume any water activities. So the case design is very industrial, but very well executed. You see the lugs kind of flank out a little bit, giving the case some depth and differentiation from other dive watches. Not as much finishing as you usually see on some JLC models, primarily because this is a watch that was designed in partnership with the Navy SEALs and what they would want out of a high-end luxury diver that could also be worn in combat. As for the movement, this is JLC's self-winding caliber 899, just their date, second, minute, and hour movement. This rubber bracelet is, once again, the star on the show that I've talked quite about. It is extremely comfortable to wear on the wrist, and the thing that I love about it the most is that each individual link can be removed by a normal screwdriver. I'm not sure if you can get a really good look at that. There we go. But yeah, each individual link can be removed by just a traditional screwdriver. Last, flipping it over to the Caseback, you can see that this is an engraved limited edition of 1,500 units and has the U.S. Navy SEALs logo etched on the back. And the deployment class on the bracelet is this very strong, very substantial double trigger Jlc Buckle. This is not going anywhere. And one thing I love about the clasp on this is how easy it is to do a quick micro adjustment. You can quickly get a little bit of extra breathing room on a hot summer day on both sides, or quickly pop it back in if you want to kind of go back down in regular size. So this is a really handy feature, especially since that it allows you to get the extra extension on both sides, meaning that you get a little bit more flexibility on being able to wear this watch if your wrist expands throughout the course of the day. Lug to lug, you're looking at 22mm lug width if you are looking to change out straps. So I want to dive into why I particularly decided to purchase this watch. Like I said, I was looking for an all black dive watch, something that had masculinity. I've been going back and forth for a while on adding a black Submariner to the collection. Picking this up allows me to think a little bit different in terms of the color options I might want to get into Rolex. But albeit, I really love the case profile and the whole master compressor concept. This is a really great watch to explore the city in. I've been in DC for the last 5 to 6 months, and this is just a really rugged, low-key city watch that I don't mind wearing if I'm on a bike. I don't mind wearing walking around the neighborhood, etc.